Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the Vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. I know we do a bunch of episodes. This is the pop-up episode, so feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button so you can actually get the pop-up episodes. And you can get the notification. So we always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the Vault episode 429. In quotations, just put it in your trust. We want to add a question mark to this. Because that what's supposed to happen? So we always appreciate everybody that's gone through the trustee training and people that have been involved with the vault for years. Have gone through the program. We do trustee training at the vault. We've seen a lot of things recently that it sounds good. This is one of those sound good lines right here. Just put it in your trust. So this isn't legal advice. It's not financial advice. It's not advice. But let it be told, on the public side, you got these guys telling you just put it in your trust. Put this in that trust. This, that, and the third. That's what they're saying to you all. Okay. Well, if these individuals were private, would they be telling you to put it in your trust or a trust? You hear the difference? But see, in the public, they didn't say put it in a trust. They said put it in yours. So that's the first catch 'em and get 'em line that they telling people in the public. So they what can get some dollars off you. Is that what they want? What 5,000, 10,000, 55,000? That's what they telling them in the public. Oh, you got this company as a holding company, and then you got this trust. Just put it in your trust. That's what they saying on the public side. It's not what they saying on the private side. This is public information. It's easy to talk about it from third party perspective. Why? Because they're not liable. And they're not supposed to be liable. But how is it that you're going to remain not liable if it's yours? Just put it in a trust was a question that we definitely have for these people. Like, what does that mean in yours? Well, we know what it means. We hear them in the public. And that's the way the game goes, is the difference between the public and the private. When you hear the information about put it in an entity, that's almost advice. And that's why a lot of these people on the public side don't always get completely charged, but they do, especially in the public about financial advisement, because it is financial advising when they tell you what to do. But we already know that it's not financial advice. You definitely don't want to get into the wrong financial advice unless you go get a certification or a license. Of course, we can talk to people about it in the perspective that it's encouraged to talk about, which is operating from having the capital, not from, oh, we're just trying to open something up so we can protect our capital. There's a difference. When you talk about families that say, oh, we're going to make it a point to have capital to put in a position not to lose it. So willing to risk 10% on you to the downside. That's a different story. But when we talk about what's going on in the public and then talking about financial advice, that's really what it is. Them telling you to put it in a specific entity. It's all about how you have a conversation with people about it. And they're telling people to do that. But then they don't tell you how many trust it is. They just give you the blanket statement, put it in your trust. Oh, really? So you're not going to tell me which type or anything about it? The basics, the in depth information is in the room with the individuals that hold it, that have the money in it, that are structured in it. They have charities. You get different managers. Sometimes you get the charity manager, sometimes you'll get the active manager. That's where you are. Are you in active management or passive management? We talk about this all the time with our trustees. Are you in active management or passive management? Everybody wants to just put it away. Put what away? Some type of cash flow generating entity. Okay. There's many different types of entities. Right. If there's many different types, why didn't they tell us that? They just said put it in one. And then they left it like that and kept it moving. They didn't slow down and speed up. Did they share the information with us? In the peer environment, yes. In the environment of the internet, no. Why would it be on the internet? Because it's 1% information. It's less than 1% information. Think about how good you have to have of a search to be able to get less than 1% information. Oh no, it's not for me to count my lucky stars that I ran across the trust information because they talk about it on the internet now. In the circles of business, the circles I'm running in. Right. Which ones? What type of entities? Oh, let's hear the confusion. So, did you notice it's like a sport? It's a business is a sport? So we actually have teams? So once again, you might meet the active manager, you might meet a passive manager, you might meet the charitable manager, you might meet these different people. But they want to say, oh, just put it in a trust, everything's going to be great. Oh, really? They didn't even tell you what type of one. That's the interesting part about it. They don't understand it's blanket legal advice, which they don't understand that if you hear that, you might think, dang, I should just go jump on it. I got something to lose. You do. Well, we can see that that information is out in the public now. Oh, this, that, and the third. Well, we're gonna see how it plays out. What we know is if it's already 1% information, it ain't gonna get that much higher. It's gonna stay 1% for a reason. Oh man, you gotta be that great. You're talking about sitting in a room with people that are easily on third and fourth generation wealth, and that's just the majority of the room. At least third or fourth generation of wealth, managing millions. And you talking about just put it in a trust. You letting these guys over the internet tell you just put it in a trust. For what? We might minimize our liability, sure. But where are these guys when they say, okay, where are the accountants? Where are the lawyers? What type of lawyers do I need around me? Oh, wow, you present every time I see you something good to say about how to help improve the business and make it more efficient. But we got this information permeated on the internet as it stands right now about just putting it in a trust. That's not how it works. It's definitely private information. You think you can just Google it, have at it. We already know those are gonna get wiped out. That might be 80%. The other 20, that's a part of the one. Good luck. The luck is gonna come from surrounding yourself around people in trust deal with people in trust. That's the facts. You gotta show that self approved. Just by doing something, how do you know how to manage it? Oh, I have good management skills. Well, we deal with third and fourth generation managers, and we hear how they manage. They're not focused on just putting it in one. These people are very focused on having multiple interests, multiple separations. They're not thinking about just putting it in one. And they're definitely not thinking about putting it in theirs. It's not a theirs, it's just the entity. That's the difference between business and not personal. But we can see that, the cup of tea today is that, you know, some people would like to think competition is stiff. Oh, I don't believe in competition and blah, blah, blah. Sure, we know from where we've been talking about this for years, and we talk about trustee training a company with it. Whereas people are just going to tell you go into some entity you don't know about because it's supposed to be for family estate and wealth preservation. Right. Who told you that? Where'd you get that information from? A commercial? A infomercial? Well, yeah, because, I heard that, that's all the wealthy moving out here. Oh, wow. Did we hear, ladies and gentlemen, this is the environment you invest in your family education. You invest in the information. You invest in relationships. Because people in trust deal with people in trust. Oh no, I might not know that many people in trust. Well, you might have to go get around those people. Just put it in your trust. Do you think that's how they playing about it? Greetings, greetings, greetings. So, just put it in a trust. Everybody can talk that talk on the internet. Oh, go put it in a trust. And next thing you know, do you know how to manage it? Do you know what a minute is? Do you know how to keep the proper minutes? Is it public? Is it private? Do you have a system in place? Because if you're going to do the trust, it's supposed to do from one generation to the next. That's true. Do you have a system in place that's going to implement that strategy with or without you? We had for sure people come on the line almost daily. It's the hotline. What if something happens to us, Trust Christian and the vault? Well, that means that maybe more than a will would be need to be in place. Some people are living on the hilt. In 2022, people are still living on the hilt. But nevertheless, that's the we're gonna pass it along from one generation to the next. You have to have a system in place. That system has to be written down. So when you disappear, there's a book, there's a manual, there's something that says, the minute book, there's something that says this is what happened over a period of time, and it's written out. Decisions. Why did you pivot? Why did you not pivot? Well, just put it in your trust. That's what they're gonna tell you on the public side. Why? Cause they in public trust. Oh, trust Christian in the vault. This is private trustee training, right? They're talking public trust though. That's why they don't tell you the name of the trust. They'll just say, "Oh, you need to get in trust." And even if they do tell you, once again, it's over 80. When do you need one or the other? Right? They don't tell you, "Oh, it's over 80." They just tell you, "Get in one." Right? Which one? They don't tell you that, huh? Oh man, I got to get into one of those. Right? That's what the people are thinking now. I got to get into one of those. Or I just gave them enough information so they can go out here and just, just to research it. 80 over 80 different types of trust. Somebody just gave you enough information that confused the hell out of you. That's what they did. So when we talk about information in the public, we already know that's conflict of interest. The private side, you have a fighting chance because you're taught a proprietary system. That's always going to be in the case in the private. There are families that hold on to this information. Oh man, Trust Christian Vault, I hear you, but I don't hear you. I got a family, but I don't know if I'm willing to pay the Pied Piper for my family because they might not be as invested as I am. Oh man, I gotta find some family members that are gonna be able to manage this after I'm finished. Right. Unless you're trying to retire early, don't you have some years to put some things together? Oh man, they telling you to put it in yours though, 'cause that's the public talk. Oh, you right. That's the public side. Right. That's the public side. Put it in your trust. That's the public side. But they won't tell you that because you got to know the difference between public and private. You have to be mentored. If you're not, then they'll say, put it in your trust. Oh, yeah, that's to give you a little breadcrumb, but they really not giving you the game. Exactly. Why would they give you the game? It's taught in private education. It's taught in the private. So anything in the public is just salt to the wound, salt in the pepper. It's flavoring. Oh, that's what we gonna tell them in the public. Just do this. They might not even be financial advisors. But then when you go back and listen to some of the greats interviews, they always end up saying, "Yeah, it's in this, it's in that, it's in this, it's in that." And that's how you understand how you moving. You learn how quiet is kept. But then they want to say, "Oh, put it in yours." Well, okay. You think any greats got his name on the public side? Right. This saying goes with the name then, or who they are. Some people even I always ask this question. Oh, well, how do I put my body in the trust? How you just put it in the trust? Just put it in your trust. So what we gonna do? We gonna put our body in the trust? Can you put your body in the trust? Cause it's property. Can you put property? Can you put your body in a trust? What are you talking about? And we deal with very erudite law people, and they're not talking about that. They don't even want to bring that up. It's not. It's just commerce is business, numbers, transactions, things like that. They want to put. Oh, let's put the body down. Like no, we actually don't want to do that. Maybe the close thing that and think about how. Well, we're not gonna go there today. But just know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the lines that they're telling you out here in the public. Just put it in your trust. Right. How many trusts you got? Well, I got one, two. Right. Did you know some people die with over 300 trusts? Man, they got 300? That's a real thing. There are people that die with thousands. Oh, that's wow. Well, I just thought about opening up maybe like 4 or 5 businesses in my life, maybe like 2 or 3 businesses, but 1,000 trusts? Put it in yours? Okay, the 1,000? Hold on, 300? Right. They don't tell you that, huh? Do they tell you put it all in one, or they just tell you you should go for like go ask your politicians how many they have. I got more than three, five, right? That's easy. That's easy. Oh, hold on. Well, hold on. What about the presidents? Over 30, but really it's hundreds. Oh man, okay. Sounds like some things is working. Right. They're passing along wealth the right way, and actually doing it through families working together privately, because that's how it works. And even if you go into politics, you're almost welcomed into a community of trust, and you're going to start doing business that way. Uh, they do deals, handshake deals, all types of deals. You have to be okay with that. Uh, But this is one of those things that we see that when you have this conversation with people and you ask them, "Oh man, on the public side, what are they saying?" And this is what they're saying. Just put it in your trust. Yeah, okay. And that sounds like public. Who got the EIN for it? Oh, I didn't know I was gonna get an EIN. Oh yeah? Did they only told you go open up one, go open up and do business with one of them? Are you going to do business with it? Oh no. They just told me to put it in a trust because that's the cup of tea of the day. If I put it in a trust, then I'm actually going, it's going to be protected. Yeah, right. Because it's in yours. So once again, we do trustee training at the vault. We don't need to hide that. We're very upfront about trustee training. It's where you come to learn as trustees, not just, oh, you know, I'm in something and the lawyer just dipped out, or the lawyer's gone, or the accountant's gone. We actually had a workshop recently with the accountant in the room for the family, and it's always good to just have no rebuttals to the system. It's just the system works with or without you. But how many people have a system in place? See, there's things that we could talk about that you can sit in those rooms and have those conversations with people that have been in their profession for longer than you have. But it comes down to you being able to have a good grasp on what is it that you're talking about when you just start throwing out these terms and start these sayings. Oh, just put it in this and put it in that. Yeah, but what you gonna do, get a lawyer to come on here? Oh yeah, he's the guy that works for us. We should have three lawyers sitting on the show at one time. If somebody's going to sit on any podcast or any type of platform, you got to have at least three different opinions of these guys, because are all of them going to have the same opinion? No. So what trust do you put it in? Since it's over 80 and you're only going to have three lawyers, if we have three lawyers sit up there, they're all going to give different opinions. They're not all agree and say, oh, well, we all should put it in the same entity. No. Right. So they already let you know this is a system. But just remember, these people work for you. These people, do they work in the trust? Do they work for the trust? Do they do work on behalf of the trust? Are they contracted to get work done for the trust? Okay. That's what we want to know. Well, just put it in a trust is the terms now. Oh man, just put it in a trust. Really, that's what they're gonna tell you. So once again, we done narrowed it down to the fact that we're not really discussing over the internet the specific one. And is there really one that's gonna lead you to freedom? No. So when you think you're gonna get saved by one, there is no saved by one. We get trustees to answer that same question, and you have to be at one point open to hearing it the whole time, because people ask the same question. Well, what do we need to shut this entity down as on the public side? Look, different entities come in handy for different reasons. That's why there's so many. So how is it that we're just gonna say shut this one down over the other? So this is what we also can caveat with our trustees is that the private precedes the public. The private is more powerful than the public. Just the public is where most people are at because of the public consensus. But in the private is just well and alive as the private. I mean, as the public. The private is well and alive just as well as the public, for sure. People know that because they can do private things all the time. It's just, are you in the public and how far are you entrenched and yada yada yada. You all know that story. Well, they telling you to put all your assets in this, right? This how this so-called person do it, right? Right. They try to tell you the little sprinkles, and you think you got a little bit of the sprinkles, but you didn't get the whole cake. This is where you gotta invest to get the whole cake. It's gotta come out of your pocket and go to an event. You gotta get around these wealthy people, and you gotta hear them tell you this is exactly how they're running their system. If they're not telling you that, then there's definitely gonna be an issue in the house. Promise you that. We've sat around these individuals. You gotta get around these individuals where they're pretty much sharing that with you. And once they share that with you, that means you're working with them. to build something. So we definitely look forward to hearing from you all. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, it's Christian at trustchristian.com. But don't get hit with the foolery. Oh, wow. Somebody said put it in a trust. They did. But they didn't tell you how many it was. They didn't tell you what type of lawyer do you need. Do you know of a trust lawyer? Do you have a trust lawyer? Oh, is that going to be easy? I don't know a good one from a bad one. Right. This is the environment you're entering. People have teams over here of 3 to 5 people that they can say are literally managing what people would consider over $1 million for sure. Traditionally, people that are in need that with those things, they're traditionally going to be managing over 1 million for sure. But do you have an opportunity to build out of the 0.00%? Sure, you do. People just don't understand the odds, though. The odds are most people are not going to find it unless they enroll in the system. That's a fact. It's not that many systems out. And if you're grafted into a system, you got to run with it. You got to take handle of it and do the right things by it and do your best to live out that system so you can make sure that the system outlives you. And that's what it comes down to. But how many people are thinking past the first generation right now? They're on vacation right now. Right. Well, that's fine. Just know that there's massive opportunities in the marketplace right now. And people are taking advantage of this information early because they think they want to be the first to talk about it or be the branded spokesman of this information. And it's like, what are you talking about? It's 1% information. This is not meant for everybody. It's not, oh, well, we could sell it for free 99. We could sell it for 49.99. We could tell you to get in the trust, but we're not going to tell you which type of one. Right. Which one you got? That's what we want to know. Oh man, I'm in this one, but they don't really say which one they in. They just tell you get in it. Then they might try to bring a lawyer on. They might try to give you the slip and slide. Oh, you got to get in this one. Right. But when you get in front of your lawyer, have you been trained to be a trustee? Or you just been told to get into a contract and now you got a contract, but you don't know the rules of it? Because it's a formal trustee training that the vault provides. That's the difference. On the internet right now, is hey, everybody wants to tell you what to do. It's like the Warren Buffett rule. Warren Buffett speak, people listen. Right. Yeah, right. It's all good. He's a great asset manager. Obviously his track record speaks for itself. He has quite a bit assets under management. Ladies and gentlemen, we can look at portfolios and tell pluses and minuses too. So you gotta think about it. He actually is more of a pension fund than he is. He's like a he's like a pension fund manager. He's definitely betting long for sure. He says that in his strategy, and so many people hear this. They hear like, "Oh, he's betting long. He's betting long." Yeah, he's betting long. What do you bet? Short or long? He's betting long. So he can sit out storms and weather a storm and recover 50% back the next year. Doesn't really matter. It's like, okay, he didn't really lose anything. He's always been in at ground zero. So he's up hundreds of millions of percent. he, why would he care? At this point, it's just numbers on the paper. But that's the information you're going to hear out here in the public. Oh, just put it in this. Just do this. That's called financial advice. They don't want to tell you that. Why? Because that's the structure. It's a legal structure. So when they tell you that, it's oh man, I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, they told you that. So what entity you supposed to have? Did you know it was a public and a private one? Oh yeah, there's a public and a private one. Okay, it's just so many more details to this thing, And you just hear this information on the internet and you're like, wow, really? This is where we are? They're just going to tell you to go get in something and not tell you the details. You know, it it's wild when you all really get a chance to see what's going on and see how people want to take advantage of the information. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, it's private information for a reason. Do you hear the term? It's private. So what's the point of even broadcasting? Oh, this how you got how the structure set up and blah blah blah. You giving away your running place. But they're trying to sell it over the internet for free 99. It doesn't work that way. Right. Well, we appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to hearing from you for consultations. That's what they're going to tell you over the internet right now. So we just going to go ahead and put it out there in the algorithm. Just go ahead and put it in a trust. Yeah, right. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And we want to share with people that even if you did have an attorney around or a lawyer around, that's a great thing. You should. But to just think that that's the way to get the move properly. Oh, just we're gonna throw that blanket statement out there. Nah, even the greats know how to keep quiet. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, it's Christian at trustchristian.com.